McKinney North off to a blazing start as the Bulldogs open their 6th year under head coach Jim Gatewood, who joins us now. And Jim, 7-1, a couple of tournament championships here in the early part of the season. That sounds pretty good after the humbling year that you experienced last season.
We're off to a good start, and it's nice to be on this side of it. And we've got a good group. They worked really hard, and we felt coming in that we needed to get off to a good start to get the confidence back we've always had here. And I think that's where we're at.
I'd say at this point you own Carrollton. A couple of tournament victories in Carrollton, one at Creekview, one at Newman Smith, and in fact the teams that you beat representing Carrollton, Newman Smith, you beat Creekview twice, also beat Ranchview. The only loss thus far, 2-1 decision to Irving MacArthur.
Right.
What have you liked the most about your team thus
I like the fight that we have. You know, we didn't have that last year at all, and we've always kind of had that. And this team has that, and we felt coming into this year we would, just with the leadership that we have and the guys that we have. And they really compete well. They've competed in the scrimmages. They've competed, in the games and in the off season, everything we've put in front of them. So we're not surprised that we're off to a good start. We're relieved, just after when you went through what we did before. But we're happy where we're at and feel pretty good about it.
A new bat standard in the high school game after the NCAA adopted it a year ago. Smaller sweet spot, less pop. It obviously hasn't affected your team thus far when you just look simply at run production, but what effect do you think it will have in the long run?
Well, we like it. We feel it's one of those rules that helps a team like us, to where, especially in this league, where we can go out and kind of play baseball, the way it used to be, to where you move guys around and try to do the right thing in bunt situations and steal and do all that stuff and not rely on. We've never really been a team that relied on home runs and stuff like that. And so we felt if we would come out and play the way we hope to play, it would be an advantage for us, and hopefully it will be.
And I'm sure your pitchers are excited about it as well.
Well, it changes the game more. I told our guys, this is a change that probably is as drastic as any we'll ever see, just because, the home run is out. Every once in a while somebody will hit a home run. But it's more line drive and execute and do the little things. And we saw it in the fall when we watched our teams play in the fall, where balls that used to go out, were 10 feet in front of the warning track. And so, then your team has to buy into that, to where you have to play kind of a different brand of baseball. And we've done that, and I kind of like it.
Two of your pitchers seem to be stepping forward. Will Cooper, in addition to Aaron Rhodes. Rhodes has a no-hitter. Cooper, a couple of victories in the tournament atmosphere. And this has to be a good sign, considering that they dealt with so many injuries a year ago.
Yeah, that was one of the big problems last year going in, where both of those guys got hurt before the season started. And so, Cooper is a #1 guy. He's been a #1 guy, we felt, for a couple of years. And he's pitched great in the scrimmages, and he's also pitched good in the tournaments, and so is Rhodes, and so we feel pretty good on the mound, especially with these bats. We talk about it all the time. It's you quit trying to strike people out. You just force contact and let your guys play behind you, and both of those guys do that, along with Will Shoemate, who also pitches for us, and Sadler can also come in. So, we got some depth on the mound, too, for the first time in a while.
Yeah, you bring up Montana Sadler. He earned the win in the championship game of the Creekview tournament.
Right.
Second team All-District a year ago at second base. Your only All-District player.
Right.
What do you like about Montana here as a sophomore?
Well, he's a great competitor. He was the guy who played as a freshman, where we've had very few freshmen play here since I've been here. And we've had some guys who have played, but never in a role that he had. And he stepped in as a freshman. And for him to have the year that he did last year and be able to handle what you have to handle in this league as a freshman, that says a lot about him. And he's a special player. And, we've asked him to move to second. He's probably a shortstop in college, and shortstop, second baseman. But Mahalik is a good shortstop as well. And so he played second last year, and I thought he was great over there. And he just gives us another strong guy in the middle infield there, to where we've had some good guys in the past, like I told you earlier, a good shortstop or a good second baseman. I don't think we've ever had a duo like this up the middle that is just consistent and solid like he and Mahalik are. And so we're lucky to have those guys there.
Grant Mahalik in his third year starting at shortstop. How far has Grant come along, sophomore to senior year?
He's come a long way, and it's because he's such a hard worker. He's by far the hardest worker we've ever had. He'll come in, and he's not a guy you got to say, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that today. He does it, and he knows to do it. He doesn't have to be, prodded to do it, just brings it every single day in practice and in games, and just a guy that you feel great for because you see how far he's come, and it's all because he just works so hard every single day.
It seems like overall you just like how solid this team is. You have some experience in terms of age, lots of seniors here and there, and while you might not have a guy who is star caliber in some positions,
Right.
you seem pretty set among your position players.
Some of our teams in the past we've had, 3 or 4 really good guys, when Nico was here and we had a good cast around them that allowed them to excel and allowed us to excel. And this is one of those groups where we have a lot of guys. We don't have that big name guy, but we've got 9 or 10 guys who can play, and and who compete really well, and makes this team a little different than any we've had. But it's they're really fun to coach, and they they're exciting group.
And it's a unique group in that you have several guys who played football in the fall and were part of a very successful team for Mike Fetchie, winning record, first time in the playoffs in 5 years. Look at Hunter Walling, Grant Mahalik, Heath Beasley, and so on. How can success in one sport translate to another?
Oh, it does, and we feel like we have to do that, at Northern. A lot of people talk it, but we all really feel like we need to do that. And I feel like, there are situations where a guy, will specialize in the sport. But to me, I like to see those guys compete. I like to see them competing in the fall, and I've always felt that way. And we've had a lot of players, not just this group over the years, who can do both and who will play football or who will play basketball, and then they'll come out to us. And it's always worked for us, and we have a good staff to where everybody works together and kind of allows that to happen. And, that starts from the top with Coach Fetchie and Coach Pratt when he was here, allowing that to be something that really works here, and it does.
It has to be a thrill to see Heath Beasley on the diamond again, considering what he's gone through injury-wise. Wasn't able to play football this past fall because of his concussion history, but there he is on the diamond for your team.
Yeah, he was all-conference player for us 2 years ago, and has played a lot since he's been here. And the bad part about him not playing football was not being out there, but it did allow him to be with us. He was in, we would see him a lot more because of that. He brings a lot to the table, just such a great leader and such a, not just a good player, which he is, but just probably one of the better leaders we've ever had.
District play gets rolling Wednesday night against Wiley East. How prepared is your team for league play to start up?
Well, we're prepared. We're ready to go, and we're ready to step to the next level and play. And this league's so tough, there's no days off. There's not a team month there to where you go, okay, well, we got this one. We can throw another guy. It's, you can get popped in a hurry. And Wiley East is very, very good. And, they're a team that's going to fight for one of those playoff spots. And so we hope to get after them and play well Wednesday night.
We talked about this with Jeremy Price just a moment ago, just how loaded District 10-4A is. It has to be one of the best in the state. How do you size up this league, top to bottom?
I think it's the best league, 4A or 5A. I mean, I think it's one of those to where you look at it and you go, from the top to bottom, everybody can play. And you have great teams from top to bottom. You have Heath, who has one of the best players in the country, and Thompson, and then they have 2 other Division I guys, and then you go to Rockwall, they have 2 Texas signees playing their place, and Highland Park's always good, and McKinney's always good, and Pierce is good, and both of the Wiley schools are good. And so it's, it's every day you have to be ready. And, it's also one of those years where you could find yourself at the top, or you can find yourself at the bottom in a hurry if things don't go your way. And so, but that's where, I like that. I like that about the league, and I think it's a great challenge. And with this group, they take on that challenge. And so, it's good and bad with it, but I like it. I think it's something.
Well, Coach, best of luck in the district season. We appreciate the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jim Gatewood, head coach of the McKinney North Bulldogs. They have momentum going into district play. 6 wins all of last year. They have 7 through 2 tournaments so far, and district play underway Wednesday against Wiley East. And that is our show for today. It is time to take a break. Spring break. We are off next week, and then we'll check in with girls soccer. And by the way, congratulations to McKinney coach Alex Panterato, who earned his 200th career win last Tuesday. We'll talk with Alex about that and certainly a lot more coming up in 2 weeks. Remember, if it's McKinney ISD Athletics, it's on Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. See you next time.